My name is Teresa Lewis, and I'm the Director of the Office of Small and Disadvantaged Business Utilization. Today we're providing training on your role as the optive or stafftive originator or initiator in the Procurement Forecast Data Repository. The annual forecast is an informational process our tool where we provide information to industry on what our upcoming procurement opportunities are, in particular small business. The original statutory requirement was that small businesses be given an opportunity to maximize their participation in HHS procurement opportunities. The forecast tool is one of those that's used for that purpose. We're going to provide you with training. Following the training, we will provide questions and answers. And I just want to thank our contractor, Insight, today to assist us with conducting the training. So let me welcome Chris. Chris, welcome today, and thank you for joining us for conducting the training for our originators and initiators on the procurement forecast system. How about I turn it over to you, Chris?
Perfect. Thanks, Teresa. I have to say I'm meeting with you today. As originators in the Procurement Forecast Data Repository, you are the starting point for contract opportunities in the system. What we're going to do today is we're actually going to go through some PowerPoint slides and just kind of talk an overview of really what you'll be doing in the system and your role as an originator. And then we'll actually get into the website and I'll show you exactly what it looks like to add a contract opportunity to the system and to get it started in the workflow process for approval. So first of all, again, let me say I'm excited to be here with you, and I'm excited that you're there at your desk watching this training. Hopefully this will be really helpful for you and in getting things started. So the PFDR's purpose is to provide internal HHS users a centralized access point and a repository for procurement information. This is not any guarantee of a contract with an outside vendor or contractor. This is actually giving them an idea of really what government is doing and really kind of creates a dialogue with industry to maybe be more involved in the contracting process. So this provides industry a centralized point for viewing HHS procurement information. You as an originator have the opportunity to put those opportunities into the system and then submit them for approval where they'll be reviewed by the review group, and then finally final approval by a group of folks that your optive administrator sets up as final approvers. And once the contract opportunity has moved through the workflow process, it's live on the internet for the whole public and for industry to see. So as an originator, your role is to initiate the procurement forecast process by adding those records into the system. Once you log into the system, and we'll actually discuss logging in when I show you the site, once you get into the system, the very first page you'll see is the contract opportunities listings page. With this page, you can quickly search opportunities using three kinds of search. We've got a keyword search, an advanced search, and a quick search. You can view the opportunities that are there, and then you can also add contract opportunities to the system and start them in the workflow process moving through the system. So it can't be any easier to add a contract opportunity. On this page, there's a big green add button with a plus sign next to it. So to add a contract opportunity, you just click the green button, and that will take you to the contract opportunity information form. This form has got fields in it, drop downs, and other areas that you can fill out. And so this is where you would put in the contract opportunity information. Now, once you put in all the information, at the very bottom of the page, you have some options. You have a save button, a submit for approval button, and a cancel link. The Save button will save your changes and return you to the listings page. So if I've got a contract opportunity that I need to put in the system, but I'm not ready yet to send it for approval to a contract review group, then I'll just go ahead and click that Save button, save my data, and come back to that opportunity later. The Submit for Approval button will save all of your data that you've put in, any changes you've made, any selections you've made. We'll save that data and send it on to the next group in the workflow process. Your Optiv administrator will set up those workflow processes so that you'll have contract originators, that's you, in a group, and you'll have reviewers in a group, and then finally you'll have final approvers in a group. You and the other originators will be able to put in the contract opportunities, and when you click that Submit for Approval button, it will move it through the process through to review and to ultimately final approval. If you put in everything and you go, you know what, I don't want to do this anymore, this one's all wrong, or I want to do this later and this isn't right, you can go ahead and click that Cancel button, and it will really kind of void anything you put in the system and take you back to the Contract Opportunities Listings page. So really, once you get that information in and you click that Save or Submit for Approval, that's it, you're done. You've created a new contract opportunity in the system. Once you've clicked that Submit for Approval button, it will move the contract opportunity through the workflow and ultimately viewable to the public. So now that we've kind of covered really how easy it is to add a contract opportunity, let's talk about that listings page and really kind of see some of the functionality that we've put in there for you to make it really easy. So first of all, on the contract opportunities page, we've included 3 ways to search. As the system grows and gets more and more contract opportunities from all of the Optivs in HHS, you can imagine that this page is going to fill up pretty quick, which is great. We want to see more contract opportunities that are in the system, really make it a lot easier for industry and for outside vendors and outside contractors to really get an idea of what's going on at HHS and where they fit in that process. And so you as originators, again, get to start that process. But on this page, we have included 3 ways to search, really just to make it easier for you to be able to navigate around in the system and get to the you're really looking for. For instance, we have a keyword search, which works a lot like Google does, where you can type in a search term and click search or hit enter. It will allow you to really kind of bring back any contract opportunities that find that search term, whether they're in the name of the contract opportunity, whether it's in the contracting office, in the description, in any of the fields that you've filled out. We also have an advanced search, which allows you to really filter those search terms really down to a granular level, to sort through those opportunities and find the one that you're looking for. And then we also have a quick search, which very much like the advanced search, but it uses some predefined parameters that are set up so that you can quickly find what you're looking for with those predefined searches for you. So let's first talk about the keyword search. It can't be any easier. You type in your search term and click that blue search button, and there you go. There's your results. The advanced search very much looks like the contract opportunity information form. When you pull down the advanced search, you'll see you've got a lot of options. The drop-down boxes that are there, very much like in the opportunity form, you can actually choose multiple options. So if you'd like to see contract opportunities from multiple Optivs, let's say in the contracting operating division, you can click that box, and they've got little check boxes. So you can click the check box and return back those search results that meet those parameters. And again, the quick search has our parameters for you. For instance, the ones that are in there now are contracting opportunities that are awaiting my review. So if you're a reviewer in the system, you would click that and it would bring back the opportunities that you as a reviewer in the review group would need to see. Also contract opportunities expiring at the end of the fiscal year, and contracting opportunities for my organization. So if I'm in NIH or FDC or whatever, I can click on that and it will return back those contracting opportunities that are in my organization that I would need to see. Another thing that we've included is in the big table where all the contracting opportunities will be displayed, we've actually made it sortable. You can click on the headings of each column, and it will sort that data via the column that you've chosen. So, for instance, if I wanted to search or sort by NAICS code, project title, competition type, total contract range, place of performance, or an end date, I could click those headings, and when I click it, it will actually sort data and give it back to me in that format. If I click it again, it'll resort it. So the first time you click it, it'll sort it ascending, so alphabetical order ascending. You click it again, it'll do alphabetical order descending. But really, what it comes down to is we want to make it really easy for you as an originator and as a user of this system to really find what you're looking for and really get what you need. Like we talked about earlier, there is a save button that if you fill out a contract opportunity information form, you need to save and come back to it later. The coming back to it later part is editing a contract opportunity. So what you would do in the contract opportunities listings page, you would find an opportunity, the one that you were working on, and over on the right hand side there's a green edit icon. It's a little green square with a pencil in it. You would click that icon, and that'll take you right to the contract opportunity information form with all the data in there that you've already put in there. Also, there's a big red X delete button. What that does, if you click that button, it will take you to a details page with a delete confirmation. So you can look at that data, make sure one last time it's the one you want to delete, and when you click that delete button, it does remove that data from the database. So there's not an archive feature or anything like that. It will actually delete that data from the system. So if you've got one that you've put in that you should have hit the cancel button on or something like that, and you need to remove it, that's where you would do that at. And so yeah, here's the information about deleting. You'll see that red icon, and then on the next page you'd see that delete contract opportunity button, and when you click that, it's gone. So that's it for our PowerPoint slides. So let's go ahead and get into the system, and we'll add a contract opportunity and get it started into the workflow process so that it can go next to our review folks. So I'm going to switch over to our browser. Now, when you go to the website and log in, when you go to the website pfdr.hhs.gov, you'll be prompted to log in. If you haven't logged into any of the HHS sites or any of the NIH sites, you would log in. You would log into those. If you've already logged in via the single sign-on process, you won't see this. But if you haven't logged in, you at this login screen, and you can either log in with your username and password, or if you've got your PIV card, you can slide that in, put in your PIN if you need to, and log into the system. And so once you log into the system, it will bring you to the contract opportunities listings page, and you see the big green button over there on the side. And so we've got a few contracts that are already in here. As you can see, there's no green edit button, there's no red delete button. That's because these are already moved through the workflow. They've been signed off by a final approval group, and they are now live to the public. So in the public-facing Procurement Forecast Data Repository, those contract opportunities would be live to the public. They can see those. So the ones that you create and edit and add to the system won't be viewable until they pass final approval. So we're going to go ahead and click this green add button. And it's going to take us to our contract opportunity information form. And let's go ahead and fill this out with some information. And we'll choose a contract type. And we'll just use Insight as the incumbent. And we'll make it an option year. Test contract description. let's see, let's pick contracting operating division. We'll do the FDA. Funding will be, sure, the FDA. We'll set those fiscal year contract ranges and total contract ranges, and then we'll go ahead and put in our NAICS code. Now the great thing about the NAICS code field is that it is a type ahead autocomplete kind of field, and so if I know the code that I'm looking for, I can start typing that in, and what it does is it goes through the system and searches and finds the those meets the thing that you're typing in. And so if I type in 541511, I get the custom computing programming services option, or another way I can do this is I could type computer, spell it correctly, and then I get all of the NAICS codes that would meet those parameters, and so I can find that there. Now for place of performance, you can actually have multiple places of performance, and so let's see, we'll choose Mobile, Alabama, and why don't we do Jacksonville, Florida. Okay, and you can specify a primary location as a place of performance. So when I click Save, we'll see we've got two places of performance. We've got Mobile, Alabama, and Jacksonville, Florida. Along with place of performance, you can also have multiple points of contact. Now, for you as a contract opportunity originator, this point of contact information is vital for industry to know really who to talk to when it comes to this opportunity in the system. So whether it's you as an originator or another point of contact in your organization, this information is very important. You can't. It really doesn't help anybody if you put anonymous in there. And so, we do ask that you as a contract opportunity originator fill this information out, and that way the folks that are looking in the system on the public facing side will really know who to. You as a contract opportunity originator, your information is not shared with the public when this information goes out there. So this point of contact information is important so that they know who to talk to. So if that is you, then you would put you in there. But if that's somebody else in your organization, this is where you would put that information for that opportunity. So I'll go ahead and just let's see. We'll make it Tom Jones, and opportunity guy. He is at the agency, and we'll say Tom at agency.com, and we'll put that information in there. And Mr. Jones is primary contact, so we'll click that, and we'll go ahead and put our award date and our period of performance. Let's say we'll start August 1st, and then we'll make this one really, really long, 4 years. December 31st. Now, at the very bottom of the page, we do have a workflow box. This information is extremely required when it comes to filling out a contract opportunity. This actually starts the contract opportunity in the workflow process so that it can go from origination, review, and finally approval. And so we have actually set up an organization in the system called Training Organization that we've set up just for the training, and I'll go ahead and select that at this time. And again, there's our options at the bottom. I can save, submit for approval, or cancel. So just to kind of show you what it looks like, I'm going to go ahead and click Save. And so what that does is that saves that contracting opportunity, but does not submit it for approval in the review process. So if I scroll down, I should see Testing Contract 3, and this is the contract opportunity that we've just added. You can see that because there are multiple places of performance, because we put in Mobile, Alabama, and Jacksonville, Florida, it does show multiple places of performance right here, and we do have our green edit icon and our red icon. So if I was to go to delete and I click that, it would actually give me this information. And it would ask me if I wanted to delete that opportunity. So I'm going to go ahead and click Cancel, because I don't. I want to go ahead and submit it for approval. So to submit it for approval, I'll go ahead and click that Edit icon, and that brings me back in here to my information. And you can see that as a user, I'm actually logged in as Todd at this time. It shows me that it was that the contract was created and that it was set to step 1. And you can see it says pending submission. So right now what that means is that this contract opportunity has been created in the system, but it has yet to go for approval for somebody. So I'm going to go ahead and click submit for approval, and it allows me to add some comments. And so this is the contracting opportunity that we were talking about. Please review it and approve it for public viewing. And so any comments that you add in this comments area will actually, when this contracting opportunity goes to the next review group, you will these comments will be included in the email that gets sent to them. And so if you've got any comments that need to be made about this opportunity or whatever, this comments area is where you would do that. And so I'm going to go ahead and click Save Comments, and it brings me back to our contracting opportunities page. And so because I'm actually logged in as an administrator and not as an originator, reviewer then, so this is the next step in the process. As a reviewer, I would see this and it would say pending approval, workflow step 2 of 3, and then who's in the group and where that's at. And as a reviewer, I could click on this comments thing and it will actually show me those comments. Now when this contracting opportunity does go to the public, this workflow box will not be visible to the public. This is something for internal use only, and really just between your organization, your opdiv. And so as a reviewer then you can see that I've got a disapprove and approve button now to approve or disapprove this thing and move it on its way to the public. Also, as an originator, your job is, if a opportunity does get disapproved, you will receive an email that says this opportunity has been disapproved, and it will contain any comments that the review folks have made. So that way, you know what's going on, why it was disapproved, and what changes need to be made, or anything like that. So that's it. Once the contracting opportunity has been added and submitted for approval, you're done with that contracting opportunity. And so hopefully it would go through the review process and on to final approval, and then out for the public to see. And so really what's exciting about your role as an originator is you get the opportunity to put this information into the system. It all starts with you. This system would not be possible for the public to see it if it wasn't for our contracting opportunity originators. And so very excited about your role and what you get to do, and what that means for the system. And so that kind of concludes our demo piece. They have set up an email if you've got any questions.
Well, I just want to say to you, Chris, thank you so very much for working with us. Thank you for assisting us with providing the training today.
Absolutely. I mean, I couldn't be happier to see, really where we were almost a year ago.
Yes.
In going through this process and really building this website and building this application for you. And you guys have worked feverishly along with our folks to really put something together that's super easy to use. And really, it makes me excited because our originators, watching our training, but you guys are the front line.
Yes.
You guys are the folks that are, not full time, but going to be putting this information into
That's
the
right.
system. And really, it starts with you.
Yes.
For you to put and really kind of start that conversation.
Absolutely,
with
Chris.
Industry and with our vendors and contractors. So, thank you to you guys, and thank you, Teresa, for having me.
Absolutely. And Chris is absolutely right. I just want to thank all of you for joining us today. And again, any questions, pfdr@hhs.gov. Thank you, everybody.
Thanks, everyone.